Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome to this fourth and last web conference for English That Works 3. Yesterday, I sent you the announcements, the announcement about the beginning of activity 4. For this activity 4, remember we have an activity first one, which is exploration. You have to explore and study carefully all the material related to activity 4. Number 2, recognition. Recognition is this web conference where I explain what you have to do in the activities, in the pieces of evidence you have to submit. And also I explain the main subjects you need, they are on the material, you need for doing those activities. One of the activities you have to do, number 3, is the one that is called personal success and be your own hero. This is about 2 activities, 1 activity and 2 in just 1 evidence. And the last one is the interactive activity on holiday. So let's watch this apprentice view. Yes. And we put here, okay, let's wait a minute. It's working, still working. Patience. Patience. It's still working. Está trabajando y se quedó ahí. Let's see, it's still working. Ok, contenido del curso. Let's go to contenido del curso. Let's flow. Okay, took me out. That's the reason why. Okay, so let's enter again. You already know how to enter. Ingreso a cursos LMS escena. You have to put all of your personal information, your ID, and your password. Then you find your course. Here we are again. Apprentice view. And contenido del curso. Activity 4, proyecto. Activity 4, evidence. And the same I told you, be your own hero, personal success, interactive activity on holiday. And at the end, you have to do the program evaluation survey. But the program evaluation survey will be available the last 2 days of the course. Solamente estará las últimas dos días del curso. Be your own hero and personal success. Remember that here you download the document and you send it through here, per evidencia, which is similar, is the same. Is the same as saying explorar equipo, ver. ¿Se acuerdan? Cuando uno le daba así subir y era como explorar equipo. Entonces simplemente uno le da clic y le va a sacar acá el explorador para que ustedes puedan seleccionar su archivo. Let's share it again. I want to show you what you have to do in this evidence that is called Be Your Own Hero and Personal Success. In this learning activity, you need to imagine you are listening to somebody is reading your own biography. What kind of things would you like to hear? Take a look at the example below and create your own ideal biography. You have to use the third person singular to refer to yourself and the present perfect in all the sentences. So in this activity, you need to imagine that someone else is reading about yourself and you're listening. So the way you have to write your own biography is using the present perfect in third personal singular and using the third person singular. That's it in present simple. So here we have an example. Nicole has visited more than 35 countries now. She has learned to speak Portuguese, Spanish, French, and Mandarin. She has put together more than 5 companies. She has written 3 novels and plans to write 3 more. She has learned how to grow her own food. She has scuba dived in Tau Island in Thailand. She has climbed the highest mountain in South America, which is, do you know? She has biked the east coast of the United States with her husband. She has hiked the John Muir Trail. She has successfully published 2 photography books. So, in this part is that, ¿de qué deben hacer? Deben escribir su propia biografía, pero imaginando que alguien más está leyendo o imaginando que alguien más la escribió y usted está escuchando o la está leyendo, ¿cierto? Entonces, ¿qué debe hacer? Debe utilizar el presente perfecto y la tercera persona singular. Entonces, ustedes saben que pues mi nombre es Ivonne, ¿cierto? Entonces, yo voy a escribir mi propia biografía y yo voy a hablar como si Ivonne Magali fuera otra persona. Entonces, yo digo, okay, Ivonne Magali has lived for decades. She has been in many countries along her life. She has lived in 2 of them. Colombia and Canada. She has learned how to improve people's lives, and so on. So here I'm talking about myself, but I'm talking about myself as if I were another person. Yvonne Magali has lived, she has been, she has lived, she has learned, and so on. That's what you have to do. This is, some ideas. You can put together all you would like to achieve in the future, like you already have it now. Pueden hacerlo así como cosas que ustedes desean alcanzar y que aún no, pero como si ya lo tuvieran, ¿cierto? Entonces, por ejemplo, she has lived, por ejemplo, o he has lived in France. That's something I want to do in the future. A mí me gustaría vivir, I would like to live in France. So I can say in this biography, okay, she or he, I put also the example of he, like John, he has lived in France. Or Yvonne Magali has lived in France, even though it's something that has not happened yet. Do you understand? Entonces pueden colocar como aspectos que a ustedes les gustaría de pronto alcanzar en sus vidas más adelante, como si ya hubieran pasado. Entonces, digamos, el ejemplo que puse en inglés fue que me gustaría vivir en Italia, o me gustaría vivir en Francia, o me gustaría vivir en Estados Unidos, y lo pueden colocar como si ya hubiese pasado, usando ese present perfect. In the second part, evidence personal success. In this second part, you have to answer these questions. So here, the introduction says, education is a primordial pillar in life. In this evidence, you have to record an audio or video with your answers to the following questions. What have you studied? What are you studying now? What have been your motivations to study? Do you plan to study anything else? Why and why not? What do you want to do professionally speaking in the next 3 years? And you have to type your answers here. Acá escriben sus respuestas. ¿Qué respuestas a estas preguntas? Doing what? Using what? Using the present perfect. You can use here the present perfect tenses. You can also use the present continuous, and you can also use the future. Do you plan to study anything else? You can use, remember those structures like would like, which is future. You can also use the future, going to, remember that? Be going to. What do you want to do professionally speaking in the next 3 years? You can also use, remember that referring to the future, you can also use the present simple. So here, some structures we have seen so far you can use for doing this activity. You have to record your answers, right? And type the vocabulary link here. Entonces van a contestar estas 4 preguntas, van a utilizar estas estructuras, presente perfecto, también pueden utilizar presente continuo y pueden utilizar, por supuesto, el presente y el futuro. Es la estructura que también recién vimos, que es would like, me gustaría, para responderles. Y al final deben grabar sus respuestas y copian el link de Buckaroo acá. Bueno, let's go again to territorio. We are here, activity for evidence, pieces of evidence. Now we are going to study, I'm going to explain you the material and some of the subjects. The material is what I have done in life. What I have done in life is present perfect. That's a structure, present perfect. So remember to look at the multimedia version for the pronunciation activities. And let's see this one, this version. So here, I will show you the material, what I have done in life. Present perfect, we are going to study also some of the adverbs we use with present perfect such as yes, just, already. This is also a structure with ever. Have you ever? We're asking questions using the present perfect. And I have never, ever, never, ever, never, never, no, ever. That's why it is never. So I have never is also a structure for negative, for instance, for answers or for full affirmative sentences where you can emphasize that you haven't done that activity yet. And you will find information about education, and this is vocabulary for you, expressions. We will cover also, I will explain to you present perfect, these adverbs, the indefinite pronouns, and the quantifiers. You also have some vocabulary related to health and lifestyle, but that's for you to look at. Okay, so I will show you the material. So here we start with the present perfect tense or am used. Remember that the present perfect tense talks about a past that has a relationship with the present. It's something that something we use to talk about things that happened in the past, but it has, a reference to the present moment. So here an example. When we use the present perfect, we see things that's happening in the past, but having a result in the present. I bought some presents, and here all the presents, and here the credit. Okay, and she's using here the present perfect. Remember that for the present perfect, you will need an auxiliary verb. That auxiliary verb is the verb have. As it is in the present, you will have to use have in the present. So that means that it has two conjugations. I use have and I use has. I have bought some presents. She has bought some presents. Remember that we use have for I, for you, for we, and for they. Oh, let's see if I can put this like this. And they, and for they. Okay, much better this way. We use have with I, you, we, and they. And we use has for third person singular. She, he, and it. Okay. Here the form plus the past participle. The main verb goes in past participle form. The past participle form for the irregular verbs are the third column. Recuerden que cuando tenemos la lista de verbos irregulares, encontramos tres columnas. La tercera columna es la columna para el participio pasado. Este es el que vamos a utilizar con el presente perfecto. El auxiliar have or has y el verbo principal en participio pasado. Which verb is that one? Is this one? Gone. ¿Qué verbo es este? Fácil, ¿cierto? Es el verbo go. Entonces yo digo, I go. En pasado yo digo, I went. Y en presente perfecto yo digo, I have gone. I have gone to the United States. He has gone to Europe. Okay? And here is an action in the past that has an incidence in the present. The negative form, as you have an auxiliary, you will have to put the adverb of negation with the auxiliary. So we say haven't or hasn't. You can use it separately like this, have not gone, or haven't gone. And here you can use it has not gone, hasn't gone. Have you gone? Has she gone? Using the same example, you know, the example about be gone, have gone. Okay. Here's some example. The plane has landed safely, landed. This is a regular verb. For regular verbs, you use the past participle is the same as the past ed. Siempre va a ser el mismo para los verbos regulares. Entonces, land, ¿cierto? Aterrizar, landed, el pasado, y el participio pasado es el mismo. Landed. Here, they have graduated. Congratulations, graduate. This is a regular verb, graduated, ed, as the last one. Federer has lost the semifinal match in Melbourne. Noel has won the Australian Open for the second time. Here we have the related words. Remember, I told you about the adverbs. Here we have, remember that with every sentence, in every tense, we use related words to refer to that tense. So for the present perfect, you can use, for instance, I have eaten a lot this morning. I have working a lot this week. I'm using there the present perfect continuous, but you can use it also with the present perfect. I have eaten this morning. I have worked a lot this week. I have traveled a lot this year. I have been here since this morning. Since. We're going to look at that one too. We've done quite a good job today. When we ask and talk about our experience, have you ever been to London? No, I haven't. And you? With lately and wrestling meaning, have I told you lately that I love you? Oh, that's sweet. With just, to express the action finished a short time ago. We have just come back from our holiday. Just come back, you know, like a short time ago. We just arrived. Already, with already meaning sooner than expected. I already finished my dinner. They haven't served you, but I'm sorry, I've already finished my dinner. I was so hungry. Yet, but yet, in negative sentences and questions when we expect something to happen. Sorry, Nick. I haven't finished the homework yet, says the little boy. For and since. We use for to say how long this period is. For 3 days. We use since to say when the period begins, since Friday. So this is something tricky because sometimes students, when we are learning, we can use it without paying attention. But remember, for, how long, and that how long means, a quantity of minutes, a quantity of days, years, weeks, and since from the beginning, the first day. So you have to put that day as the beginning, that year, that time. Thanks. I haven't eaten anything for 3 days, says the cat. No he comido nada, ¿cierto? No he comido nada por 3 días. Period. How long this period is? 3 días. Me too. I haven't grabbed a bite since Friday. Y él lo dice desde cuándo. Lo mismo, yo tampoco he comido en 3 días. Por 3 días tampoco he comido, pero lo dice de otra forma y dice desde el viernes. Me too, I haven't grabbed a bite since Friday. I hope you understand the difference. Here we have never and ever. We use never as not at any time in the past, including now. Remember that never is the negative form of ever, not ever, never. So I have never seen such a beautiful sunset. That means it is the first time I see this type of sunset. I have never seen such a beautiful sunset. It's the first time. We use ever as at any time, including the present, only in equations. Have you ever ridden a horse? In questions. Remember what I told you at the beginning. And you can answer, I have never. Yes, I have. Here, a small practice. So here you have to put these verbs, write, win, finish but in negative form, pay, depart, realize in negative form, and lose in order to practice the present perfect. So, how do you put right here? I will do the first 2 for you, and then when you watch this, you can do it by yourself. So, she, remember, the main verb is write. And I want to say that ella me ha escrito en presente perfecto una carta. Para mí, ¿cierto? Me ha escrito una carta a mí. Entonces, remember, I have to use the auxiliary, which is have or has. In this case, the personal pronoun, the subject is third person singular, so I use has. She has, and I have to put right in past participle form. Lo debo poner en participio pasado. Entonces yo digo, she has written a letter to me. Let's go to this one. Let's pause to to the third, and I help you with this one. We, so we, I have to put finish in negative form. I need to use the auxiliary. I have to decide if the auxiliary is has or have. The subject is we. So with we use have. We have not, main verb finish in past participle form. That's a regular verb, so it is with ed. We have not finished our work. We haven't, another way to say it, we haven't finished our work. Eh? What happened? We haven't finished our work. Okay? And then you'll do 2, 4, 5, and 6. And 7. Okay, guys. We also have in the material, so we already explained this first and two, this first two seconds, these first two subjects, you know. So I will have to explain to you now the indefinite pronouns. Here you find, I like the way they explain here. An example, a good example where you can identify why they are called indefinite. Where are you? Here. For instance, here it says, Nicole traveled to Madrid last summer. Read the following text to know some details about her journey. She doesn't want to be very specific. Ella no quiere ser específica acerca de lo que hizo, cuando estuvo en el viaje. So she's going to use the indefinite pronouns. Va a utilizar los pronombres indefinidos para no especificar. Eso es lo que significa. Somewhere in Madrid. Somewhere. No sabemos dónde. Somewhere in Madrid. En cualquier lugar de Madrid. Last summer, I traveled to Madrid. I have an international conference there. Unfortunately, some things, so here, some things in my journey weren't so exciting. She's not being specific about the place and she's not being specific about the things. So she says some things. First, when I arrived to the airport, there was nobody waiting for me. Nobody. This is an indefinite. Nobody. No person. Nadie. I had to wait for 2 hours until someone, another indefinite pronoun. Hasta que alguien. She's not being specific about the person. Ella no está diciendo hasta que un taxista o un miembro del staff o un primo, un familiar, un compañero de trabajo. No, ella dijo alguien, someone. So this is another one. Este es otro pronombre indefinido. Pick me up. Second, the food in the hotel was absolutely bad. Every day I had to walk around the hotel to find somewhere to eat. Somewhere. Para encontrar un lugar para comer. She's not being specific about cafes, cafeterias, restaurants. No, somewhere. In the Congress, nothing was different. Nada fue diferente, nada. Another one. When I arrived there, no one is similar to nobody, was able to give me the correct directions. I didn't know where to go, so I got completely lost. However, after all that, however, everything wasn't that bad. I ate something different every day. I met a lot. I met a lot of people. I visit some interesting and historical places. I hope I can travel again soon. So here we have a chart with some of the indefinite pronouns. I can use something to talk about things in affirmative, interrogative, anything, or negative, and negative and affirmative, nothing. About places, somewhere. In the negative, anywhere, or in the interrogative, you can use both, anywhere or nowhere. About people, somebody, someone. In the interrogative and negative, you have anybody, anyone, nobody, no one. Okay? And in the last part, we have some quantifiers. You already know how to use many, too much, and little because you learned that in the second English that works too when we talk about when you learned about what was that? Countables and uncountables. So maybe for you, enough, quite are the new ones. So here we have a short conversation. John meets Richard in the street. Read the conversation between them. Hi, Richard. Hey, John, how are you? In fact, not so well. Why? What was happening? What's happening? I feel sick. I don't know, but I feel like I don't have any energy. What have you been doing? I have been studying. My final exams are next week. I had them last week, but let me ask you something. How much sport or exercise do you do in a week? No, I'm too busy. How much fast food do you eat? A lot. I don't have enough time to cook. That sounds bad. And how coffee do you drink? How much coffee do you drink? I have no idea. I drink many cups of coffee every day, about 10. How much water do you drink? A little. A little. I prefer drinking soda. John, you have to stop doing that. You have a terrible lifestyle. You should drink a lot of water and stop drinking soda. Moreover, you have to do more exercise. That will be good for you. But the worst habit you have is the fast food. You can eat it every single day. Instead of eating fast food, you have to eat many fruit and vegetables. That's why he feels sick and without energy. Y si ustedes vieron ahí en la conversación, se usaron todos, ¿cierto? ¿Qué tanto comes? ¿Qué tanta comida rápida comes? Demasiada, a lot, ¿cierto? ¿Qué tanto ejercicio haces? Ninguno, nada de ejercicio. ¿Mm? ¿Qué tanta agua consumes? Casi nada. ¿Mm? Entonces ahí es cuando John le dice, ok, pero entonces vieron los quantifiers usados ahí en contexto. You're totally right, that should help. Yes, I can help you if you want. Really? That will be awesome. So here you have a quantifier is a word or phrase which is used to indicate the amount or quantity. That's why they are called quantifiers. ¿Cierto? Se llaman quantifiers, cuantificadores, porque hablan de la cantidad, de cuánto. Entonces, en la conversación teníamos too much, enough, many. Hay unos que utilizamos con incontables, otros que usamos con contables. Recuerden que too much es incontable, too many es contable, too para decir demasiado, todos, ¿cierto? Entonces, este es general, este es incontable y contable. He has an unhealthy life. He eats too many cakes. Too many. Demasiadas tortas. I'm so stressed. I have too much work to do. Too much. ¿Cierto? Entonces acá, too many, yo puedo contar one cake, two cakes, three cakes. Las estoy contando. Too much work. Yo no contabilizo el trabajo, sino que tengo demasiado. Too much work. Es incontable, por eso utilizo too much. Y vea que este no va en plural. She said she isn't going out. She's too tired. Too tired. Este es un adjetivo. In English, we use too plus an adjective. En este caso, too tired, too fat, too busy, too much es incorrecto. Fat, ¿es cierto? Yo no puedo decir too much fat, too much busy, no. ¿Cierto? Como too fat, demasiado gordo, too busy. Ok. Enough. Cuando uno dice enough, enough. Teacher, that's enough. Please, end. We use enough before a noun to mean all that is necessary. We also use enough after an adjective. Do you drink enough water? ¿Cierto? ¿Tomas la cantidad de agua necesaria, suficiente a lo largo del día? I don't do enough exercise. My apartment isn't big enough. Ahora tenemos el adjetivo, ¿cierto? Entonces estamos diciendo que no es lo suficientemente grande. A little, a few, un poco y unos pocos, ¿cierto? Entonces yo puedo decir a little, very little, for uncountable, y puedo decir a few, very few, for countable. We use a little, very little, a few, very few, to talk about small quantities, ¿cierto? Porque estamos hablando de un poco. Esto es un poco. Un poco de sal, le faltó un poco de azúcar, ¿cierto? Entonces, acá tenemos los ejemplos. I drink a little soda, I eat very little sugar, she has very few friends, I bought a few strawberries. As you see, few for countable and little for uncountable. And then you find the vocabulary that's up to you to read it and study it. Thank you all and have a wonderful rest of the day and week. See you. Thank you.